So when I was visiting one of my other clients that was in foster care, her mom had fell down the steps. So she was paralyzed. It was her, and she had a 12-year-old sister. She was 7. And they found a home, but the people could only take in the 7-year-old. They couldn't take in the 12-year-old. So when I went to the house to visit the little girl, me and her were just talking, and she was like, you know, Miss Q or Miss Queen, can I tell you a secret? And I was like, yeah, but here's my disclosure. Anytime a child tells me they need to tell me a secret, I always tell them, if you tell me that you want to harm yourself or you want to harm somebody else, I have to make sure to tell your therapist, because we have to make sure that we find out why you feel like it's okay to harm yourself and to harm others. So I've always said that to my babies when I did foster work, being a CASA, because I never wanted them to feel that they couldn't tell me a secret without me always telling somebody else, because sometimes kids just want to be able to have somebody to talk to. So I will always make sure that I let them know that as long as it wasn't about hurting themselves or others, that it could stay a secret between us. But once it starts being dark and you want to hurt people and hurt animals and stuff, I have to talk to your therapist so you and her can come up with a plan, because that's outside of my pay rate, because this is volunteer work and I need somebody else to will in on it. So we were talking, and she expressed with me that she didn't want her sister to go to her new foster home. And I was like, why? She said, my sister's very mean, and I don't want her to hurt these nice people. I like my new mom and dad. What do you mean you don't want your sister to hurt, this nice people? She said, my mama didn't fall. My sister got mad because my mama took her phone and she pushed her. And my sister told me if I told anybody, she would do the same thing to me. My sister also pushed, and she started naming other little kids at the foster home. One of them fell out of a window. So even it was the 2nd floor, but still it was out of a window. One of the little kids fell down the last 5 sets of steps one day, walking down the steps. She said she tried to sneak away to tell what was going on, but her sister told her, if I find that you're talking to an adult, I'm gonna get you, and you'll get hurt just like them. So I said, okay. Went back to the foster home, talked to the owner, told her what the little girl told me. She went back and looked at 2 of the cameras, because, she said there was so much going on, she hadn't sat down to look at the cameras yet. So she went back the 2 weeks and looked at them. Sure enough, that's what the little girl was doing, and she saw some other things that the little girl was doing. The little girl was animals and stuff. She would leave food after animals, but she was leaving like cleaning supplies in the food for the animals so they could, she said she saw that. We made an appointment to talk with her therapist, and because we didn't want, to find out where we got the information from, we were talking to her, and we told her we saw it all on camera. That's all we said. The foster lady, the director of the foster home, actually showed her, everything, so her sister wouldn't get in trouble. And she kept on saying, where's my sister? And I said, she's with her therapist. Well, I want her in here with me, so, because wherever I go, she go. So that's not how it works. She's good. We're going to send you, they're going to send you somewhere else, and, they're going to make sure that you get the help. I don't go anywhere without my sister. I said, what's about to happen? It's getting ready to happen. Your sister's going to stay here, and you're going to go to another, place or whatever. I'll just come back. Yeah, no, baby, you're going to a different state. I'll find a way back. I'm going to get my sister. You can never keep us apart. Okay. Because I've heard that before so many times. So when I hear kids say that, I just be like, okay. For one, a lot of them are territorial, because that's all they know is to protect their sisters or their siblings. So I understand it. But in some cases you have kids, the only reason they want to protect their younger brother or sister is because they know that their younger brother and sister know the truth of everything they've really been doing, and they don't want them to crack and, you know, tell and snitch on them. So, I think the therapist told me that she did a session with both of them and put them in a room. You know, the rooms have cameras and stuff in them. And she said the sister kept on asking, did you tell? And she was like, no, I didn't tell anybody. What are you talking about? She was like, well, how did they know about so-and-so? She was like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't tell anybody. And she was like, did you know they had cameras? And she was like, what cameras? What are you talking about? And she was like, they said that they saw me on camera doing this and doing it. Who told them to look at the cameras? And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she told her sister, give me your finger so I can punish you. And she was like, no, I don't want to. And as the therapist was coming down the hall to come in the room real quick to stop it, tell me why this little girl was trying to bend this little girl finger all the way back so she could break it. So when the therapist asked the 7-year-old girl, you know, does your sister do this all the time? She was like, yeah, every time she gets mad, she bends my finger back and then it moves like this. And I had to tell somebody that I fell. When they went back and looked at the hospital records, they were saying how many times his baby fingers had looked like they had been fractured or broken stuff. And they just figured that it was because the kids didn't have any real supervision. So nobody was really watching them. If her mom would have never fell down the steps and the youngest one called 911, and this was years ago. So I have no idea where they are now or what's going on with it now. But it's really some kids out there that almost made me want to get out of childcare. When you see stuff like that, you be like, ah. But I couldn't focus on the bad because I knew it was some good kids out there that really needed love and help. And then you actually have some kids that are at their borderline who just need constant love and help and somebody to love the hell out of them to get a lot of that out. And sometimes it works and sometimes it makes it worse. It just depends on who the child is. But we also have to understand that some kids, that's the only reason they were born, was to be who they are. We'll never understand it, but it's real out there. I look at IDTV killer kids all the time. The shit is real.